Hello everyone, this is Highlander from MTG Cardsmith doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review, and today I'm reviewing another card by cadstar369. Let's see what we got here. Another uncommon, which I like. This one's called Searing Grace, and it's a 3-mana enchantment aura at Boros colors. So let's see what we got here. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has flying. Cool. That's pretty good. And let's see what we got here. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, you may have it lose flying until end of turn. If you do, Searing Grace deals 2 damage to target creature defending player it controls. If you do, Searing Grace deals 2 damage to target creature defending player it controls. Okay, so the creature gets +2/+0 and flying. But if you choose to have him lose flying, you get to hit something for 2. Okay, I mean, that's fine. It seems like a little bit of a strange interaction. I kind of get it, right? Like he's like swooping down or something and shooting somebody. So like flavor-wise, I kind of get it. I think the interaction's a little weird because it's like, okay, you know, the reason you would want to put this on a creature is for the flying, right? I mean, that's what makes this card actually powerful. And you're not getting a toughness bonus, right? So I suppose that like if you play this on turn 3, there's like a pretty reasonable chance that you'll actually be able to hit with this and not have your creature trade off. That's like my main concern, right? Is like, okay, so you put this on a creature, you attack, and you have it lose flying, and you deal 2 to one of their creatures, but then they just block this guy, and then you're still at kind of 1-for-1, but it's not really what you want to be doing with a card like this, right? You kind of want to just be like beating in the air. But I think that sort of rewards you for it's sort of like a little it's kind of like a little bonus if you play this card early. That's kind of how it feels, right? Like if you play this on curve, you put it on a 2-drop, then you can sort of deal 2 to one of their creatures, and still get the damage bonus. But then you'll probably not be doing that too much more often. You'll kind of just get it the one time. So interesting. Certainly interesting. Still feels a little bit awkward. I mean, again, like if you don't play this right on curve, then that you're almost never doing that. And then in that case, it's basically just a 3-mana +2/+0 flying, which is, it's a decent enchantment. But enchantments are inherently let me say, auras are inherently very risky. And so usually what I like to see with my auras is some additional value, so that if they do kill your creature that you've enchanted, you've still gotten value out of it. And this kind of gets there with the 2 damage. But you still have to basically land this on a creature. You still have to attack with it. And the situation has to be right for that, right? Which means that, like, if this were in a limited set, I don't know how frequently this would get played. Like, sometimes, probably, but it would probably still be a fringe playable card, I would think. Which, again, it's fine. It's fine to have cards that aren't high power level. But I think it's preferable to have every card be a reasonable choice if you can. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is another perfectly fine Magic card. It's kind of got a little interesting addition here. The thing is, it's not really an interesting decision. It feels like in most cases, like it really feels like. It really feels like if you have the ability, if you have the specific scenario where you can attack with this on the ground, deal 2 damage, and your creature's going to be able to survive, you're going to do that, and otherwise you're just going to fly and attack with +2/+0 and flying, right? So like, it doesn't seem to me like an interesting decision, but more of a situational bonus. So yeah, I mean, again, I don't have like too big of an issue with this card. It's more just that I kind of wish there was something a little bit better going on here. I wish that maybe this was an interesting decision, like, or maybe, you know, rather than have some additional bonus for this, like, you know, just like when you play it on a creature, you get the 2 damage or something, or you get 1 damage, say, and that sort of makes this a good card, right? Like if this was like if this was 3 mana for +2/+0 flying, and when it enters the battlefield you deal 1 damage to target creature, I think that would be a pretty strong card, actually. Like, I think that card would see a lot more play than something like this, because you're sort of, if you land the aura, you're essentially, well, most of the time you're going to be able to get some value out of it. 1 damage isn't like a lot, but you can often make that work for you, right? At the very least, you can ping them in the face. Or if this was like 4 mana and it deals 2 damage, you know, then you're really talking. Then you're really talking of a you know, about a pretty good enchantment. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could go with this. My main issue is it feels like that extra value is very situational, and there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through to actually get that to work, right? So so that being said, you know, it's still a relatively unique effect, and I you know, the swooping idea is kind of cool. So I'll give this one another 7 out of 10. I think that it's, you know, it doesn't quite really get me excited, but fine Magic card nonetheless. So yeah, that's my review of Searing Grace, and I thank you guys for watching.